As a qualified accountant and property investor, I've reviewed hundreds of Xero accounts for property investors. Here are the 5 most common Xero property mistakes and how you can fix them. Property in Xero, error number 1, blobbing properties together in the profit and loss and balance sheet. Investors will lump all of their income and expenses of their properties and the property and mortgages values all together within the profit and loss and the balance sheet. This makes it impossible to track the individual performance of your property portfolio. How you can correct this issue then? You're going to need to set up tracking categories in Xero which will enable you to link all of the income and all of the expenses to specific properties. You then need to set up different accounting codes for each of your properties and for each of your mortgages. This is going to make it much easier to track them in the balance sheet in Xero. Together, this is going to give you much greater financial clarity on your portfolio and will also provide an audit trail should there ever be a tax investigation into your business. I've got a video in the description which is going to show you how to set up tracking categories and accounting codes for properties and mortgages in Xero. Property in Xero, error number 2, not keeping up to date with reconciliations. So it's great that you're now using accounting software, but if you're going to fail to keep up on top of your reconciliations, then it's all in vain, meaning your financial data is going to be all out of date. So how you can correct this issue then? You need to make sure you put aside some time in your calendar each week to reconcile your transactions. It's going to be much easier to get into a routine and spend a few minutes each week rather than letting it all build up and process on a quarterly or annual basis. Okay, next then, make sure you're setting up bank rules, which will automate much of the process, saving you significant time and stress. Okay, and finally, if you don't have the time or inclination to stay on top of your reconciliations, consider outsourcing this to a bookkeeper or even hiring a virtual assistant to help you with this. I've got a video in the description which is going to show you how you can quickly reconcile your bank transactions for property businesses using bank rules. Property in Xero, error number 3, not viewing your reports in Xero. Okay, so you've managed now to stay on top of your reconciliations, which is great, but you need to make sure you're regularly reviewing your profit and loss statement and balance sheet in Xero so you can monitor the performance of your portfolio. Okay, so how you can correct this issue? You need to get into a regular habit of viewing your profit and loss and balance sheet in Xero. Do this by setting time aside specifically in your calendar. Doing this at least monthly is gold plated, quarterly silver plated, and annually, to be honest, is not really ideal. A lot can change in 12 months, so you need to be viewing more frequently than this to stay on top of your finances. Consider paying your accountant to produce quarterly or monthly management accounts if you struggle to find the time to view the reports yourself. And make sure you're setting up custom reports in Xero to suit your needs, which should show the individual profit and loss of each property. I've got a video in the description which is going to show you how you can set up custom reports in Xero. Property in Xero, error number 4, not adjusting rental income for agent fees deducted from the rent. Okay, so if like many property investors, you're using a managing agent, then what's going to happen is they're going to pay you the net rent after they've deducted all of their fees and repair works. This will result in your profit and loss being misstated easily by 15%. If this then carries forward then into your end of year accounts, then they're going to be inaccurate, which could result in fines. So how you can correct this issue then? At the very least annually, ensure either yourself or your accountant is conducting manual journals in Xero to make an adjustment for this to ensure your profit and loss is accurate. You're going to need to have with you copies of your rental statements from your agent to conduct this. I've got a video in the description to show you how. Property in Xero, error number 5, not showing accurate property values in Xero. Okay, so your data in Xero is fed by bank transactions. When you purchase a new property, you're typically only going to pay 25% deposit towards the cost of the property, with the remainder coming from a mortgage. Because only 25% of the property value is in effect coming from your bank account, this is all that's going to show in your balance sheet. So how you can correct this issue then? It's going to be either yourself or your accountant is going to need to conduct a manual journal to adjust for the part of the property purchase that didn't go through your bank account. So for example, the mortgage. To do this, you need to have a copy of your completion statement, which is going to be provided by your solicitor and which is going to outline all of the costs associated with the property purchase. Importantly, don't forget to include mortgage arrangement and telegraphic transfer fees, which were often added to the loan. These will not show in your completion statement, so you'll need a copy of your mortgage offer additionally to help you with this. I've got a link in the description to this video which shows you how you can process your property purchases in Xero correctly. Depending on how you actually report your end of year accounts, you could also be required to revalue your properties on an annual basis in the balance sheet. Okay, and another video in the description shows you how to do this. Fixing these 5 issues in Xero is going to give you financial clarity over your portfolio and is going to enable your profit and loss and balance sheet to be accurate. This is then going to follow through into accurate annual end of year accounts. Okay, so if you want to work with a property accountant that's also a property investor and will help you optimize your Xero account for property, then you can book a call below. I've also got a link for a new school community where I provide Xero support for self-sufficient landlord Xero users. Further details are in the description below.